when they host Cleveland at 1 p.m. on Sunday. Good news for Jalen, AJ, Devontae, and Lane Johnson all look to be a go for the game. Brew, do you have faith your Eagles can turn the corner here?
Absolutely. Let me define the corner. Can win the division and make the playoffs. Or even if they don't win the division, still make the playoffs. That is definitely there. Because, one, the division is up for grabs. Cowboys, I think, are common. Now, even if they win, okay, they're pretty good if they beat Detroit. Washington is young and unproven. And as the tape gets around on Jaden, maybe teams figure him out. He doesn't play as well. We know their defense isn't strong. So I think the Eagles also.
You're leaving out a team that has the same number of wins as the Eagles.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I'm not the standings. I'm disrespecting the Giants because I think they're the worst team in the division.
What have the Eagles done that's more impressive than the Giants?
Beat the Packers?
No, I was about to, their last 10 games, the Giants have been as good as the Eagles. The Eagles have been
beat the Packers.
Okay. So
do the Giants have a win like that?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't.
That's it.
Anything can
also,
happen.
just beat a New Orleans team that mollywopped the Cowboys.
Okay.
So and actually played the Chiefs fairly tough.
Who
fairly tough. The Saints.
Okay.
So beat them down. I think Philadelphia, certainly offensively, is the most talented team in that division. All right, and they're getting healthy. A.J. Brown is back. Devontae Smith will be back. Lane Johnson will be back. Jalen Hurts is playing for his image or status as a franchise quarterback. So he does have to pick it up. And hopefully this bye week, obviously he's talked glowingly about what the bye week has done for him. So there's that. And, Nick, they got Cleveland, the Giants, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, their next 4 games. They certainly should be, if they're what I think they are, they can win 3 of those 4 and maybe all 4. Because the Bengals, if they don't take care of business, by that point, the Bengals might be down morally and feeling like, you know what, season's over, whatever. And so if they win 3 of those 4, they're 5-3. They're in good shape. They're in good shape.
Yeah, the way I read this question is a little different. It's really, for me, is do I have faith that Jalen Hurts can turn the corner? Because that's what you're ending with right now is the key for them. If Jalen Hurts can get back on track, which he has no excuse not to now, because this will be the first time since week 1 that he's had everyone at his disposal offensively, meaning all his guys are now on the field together. They're coming off a bye. He's talked about his relationship is in harmony with Sirianni and where they are. So it seems like he's in a great mental space. Now he has to perform. He has to prove it. And that's something we haven't seen since the Super Bowl run year. Like, he has not played consistent enough, and you got all this talent around him to support who he is. So it's Jalen Hurts is the one that needs to really
No team has benefited more from a bye in recent memory than the Eagles. Not because they needed it, but because tilted. Miles is legit tilted.
Lions, favored by a field goal in Dallas in America's Game of the Week on Fox. Cowboys escaped with a win in Pittsburgh last week, even though Dak turned the ball over 3 times. Lions looking to go into Dallas, make themselves a sandwich, bro. Here's Dak Prescott.
Yeah, they are.
It would be huge. We've got to get this one at home as well. No way that we can, can't even say it, but there's no way at home we can drop another home game. So want the Dallas fans to come in expecting to win, bring everything that they can, all the positive energy and vibes, and we've got to produce.
Okay, Brew, can a Dallas win make you a believer?
Well, you said Detroit's going to make a sandwich. Guess what? The deli is open, all right? The deli is open. Now, for the sake of your question, if the Cowboys win, which I don't think they will, and I'll admit this, Nick, it's hard to see Dallas, which was great at home last year.
16 straight.
Yeah, undefeated, lose 3 straight at home to start the season. That is... Like, man, that's a reach.
Yeah.
But I think Detroit is just too good, especially with Dallas being banged up. What can they do, though, for my thoughts on the Cowboys? If they win, they will gain my respect.
Oh.
They will get they've done nothing this season to get my respect.
Going to Pittsburgh on national TV means nothing.
They beat up a lost Cleveland team.
Sure.
Absolutely lost team. They beat 2 mediocre teams. Pittsburgh, let's be honest. So we think they're mediocre. I know they were 3-1. We think they're mediocre.
Wins in Pittsburgh under Mike Tomlin are good wins. Can we just agree with that?
I didn't say it was a bad one. First of all, they won on the last play.
That's the NFL, man. It's like I get it, man. Matt Stafford doesn't have a Super Bowl if not for Jaquan.
You're right about
and
that.
And Mahomes is over 3 in Super Bowls if not for
you finally admitted that.
I get it. No, that's the sport, bro.
The Giants.
Every
Did
game
they
is
look
close.
great against the Giants? No. They stepped up in their weight class and got smacked. All right, last time they played a top team. All right, Baltimore. Oh, they came back. I put that more on the Ravens falling asleep than the Cowboys waking up. No, I do. I mean, Nick, the Ravens beat them up and down the field for 3 quarters and then let their foot off the gas, as they've done with 10 teams over the last year and a half, and the Cowboys made it look respectable. Right. Then New Orleans, which isn't even any good.
No, that was
beat
terrible
the heck out of them.
That was terrible.
All right, if they win this game, I will respect them as a good team. So right now, it'll be the first time this year they've beaten somebody who is not either a tomato can or tomato can adjacent. Okay. And I would say the Steelers and the Giants are tomato can adjacent.
Okay. All right. If this, I mean, well, then everyone in the league.
I'm supposed to fall in love with them?
No, but it can't be.
I don't think they're that good.
It can't be a 32-team league and 25 of the teams when you beat them, it means nothing. It can't be that. I understand saying Cleveland might end up being the worst team in the league. If it's on the board of outcomes that you could have the #1 pick of the draft and we want to discount wins against you, I think that's totally fair. But we are going to, I think, on today's show at some point, talk about the fact that some people think the Giants can beat the Bengals and end their season and get to 500. Sure. We just laid flowers at the feet of Washington. The day after that game, we said the Giants would have beaten them if their kicker didn't tear his hamstring or whatever he did in the first play. It is not every game.
When New Orleans beat Dallas like a drum,
yes.
Did you give them any credit? No. You were like, no, they're a bad team because you don't like the roster. I don't like the Cowboys roster.
Okay, all right. So that is fine. I think that is totally more legitimate than explaining why the wins don't count. To just be like, you know what? But by that metric, then this win shouldn't matter if you don't like the roster. If it's just like, no, it wouldn't matter.
Well, I told you, I give them some respect for being banged up and beating a good team, but it's not going to make me think, oh my gosh, they might win the NFC.
Beating the Detroit Lions to win your 3rd straight game after winning a road divisional game and then going to Mike Tomlin's house and beating a 3-1 Steelers team and then beating a Lions team coming off a bye to get to, at worst or at best and worst, the 2nd best record in your conference doesn't make one a believer, then nothing will.
Hold on. But here's the thing. If Philly did exactly what you just said, you wouldn't believe?
If Philly did what? If they won 3 straight games?
Yeah.
Philly's won 3 games in the last 6 months.
Since we're talking hypotheticals, if Philly did what you just said about the Cowboys, you wouldn't believe because you don't believe in the team. So, I don't believe in the Cowboys. I think they can maybe make the playoffs. Okay. I don't think they're a contender.
Okay, well then I guess my answer, sorry, Greg. My answer would be then say that. Say a win.
I've said it all.
No, say no. A win would not make you a believer.
I said it'll make me give them some respect. They don't have that yet because I don't think they've earned it this season. I respected them last year as much as I didn't think they could get to the Super Bowl. I give them some respect. I respect them at the beginning of the year when I said they're going to make the playoffs. They lost my respect. Now regain it.
Wild.
So good.
This impressive win for the Cowboys in my book. Simply because we've known where their struggles lie in the running game, and we haven't given them an immense amount of credit as it pertains to the Giants stopping them in the running game. You did. The Steelers stopping them in the running game. Again, you did.
They played 5 games, 2 of them.
But this is a team. This is a team, Wiles, that's coming into this game. We know their identity. We know what the Lions want to do. They want to punch them square in the mouth.
Facts.
And they are going to attempt punching them in the mouth over and over and over again. And if the Dallas Cowboys can stand the test of that and punch back and not allow the Lions to walk out with a win, I will be impressed.
Can I ask you a question, Brew? because the hypothetical is if the Cowboys win. The Cowboys, if they win this game, will have done it without their top 3 defensive ends, including their best 2 players on defense, in Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence, against a team that the last time they played a game, because they're off a bye, I went back and